What's up, guys? My name is Bainz. Welcome to my studio. We're in Los Angeles. Today we're going to be talking about the WesAudio ngBusComp. I've had this unit for a few years now, and I use it on my mix bus. It's been on most of my mixes for the past few years. The way I have it over here is kind of my starting point. I don't really compress too much. It's like maybe a dB or two at the most at its peaks, but it's just the sound of the unit. It just brings everything together, and then that dB boost is a little bit of a volume lift that I'm getting, as well as the tone of the unit. Another really cool thing that the ngBusComp has is the THD, the total harmonic distortion. I really love it. So you can see over here, I have it on 6%. That is a good starting point for me, and then based on the record, I will dial it in. Another really cool feature of the ngBusComp is the feedback mode mod. Ever since I got that mod, I have never looked back, and I've used it in that mode every time. What the mod essentially is you take a split of the output and send that to the sidechain input, and that triggers the compression. So you get a feedback mode, which just sounds a little more open and less compressed. Let's listen to some audio. Exaggerate the compression. Even when you drive the compression really hard, just because it's analog, you can get away with a lot more than you could if it was a plugin. Another cool little feature over here is there's dual mono mode, so you can control the left and right individually, and then you have MS mode as well, where you can compress the middle more than the side. In this case scenario, we have it on the mix bus, and let's say the snare's a little too loud, so I might reach for the MS in that situation, try to compress just the mid a little more. That's mid-side mode. Another really cool thing about this unit is the Cornhill transformer mode. So you can engage this ion mode over here. So yeah, that could be a really cool way to add mojo. Sometimes when using tools like this, even though its intended use is a compressor, you can get some really cool tones out of it by just saturating it and using it in a slightly different way. You know, because it is an analog box, you can have some fun with it. That's what I tend to do. I don't always, I'm not just compressing all the time. I'm really like driving the unit and looking for the sound of the unit. Because it has digital control and digital recall, I can just try out a bunch of different things, and it has these different snapshots over here. So like right away, like this is without anything. That was the last one. Let's see this one, we go a little heavy with the distortion. And then on this one, let's try MS. It's that easy to just toggle between a bunch of different settings and get some cool tones and A/B between them really quickly in a way that's not really possible with regular analog gear or even with a lot of plugins. So I've had the ngBusComp for a few years now, and it kind of lives on my mix bus. I've used it on countless records. With WesAudio's digital recall and WesAudio's Pro Patch, digital patch bay that I have, I'm able to move it around. I'll even run a vocal through it really quick. I'll move it off the mix bus, run a vocal through it, commit it, and toss it back. So there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of options that way. Having the digital patch bay, having the digital recall, you can kind of save settings, and I don't have to redial it in again. I can just have one for the mix bus and then get it out of there, use it on a vocal, use it on an instrument, and toss it back in my mix bus as soon as I'm done committing whatever file I've used it on. I also do a lot of remote work where I tie into my room. I might be sitting in a studio in Miami controlling everything over here, and because I have a digital patch bay, I have WesAudio gear, I'm able to mix and not really be here, but use my studio. All of this stuff enables me to do that. I think we're really living in the future over here. On the mix bus, I'm EQing before in this scenario, but say I wanted to use this a little more aggressively, like a 1176. I had done my corrective EQing before. I would hit this really hard and then hit it with a tone shaping EQ afterwards. So this is what it sounds like when we EQ into the compressor. Now I'm going to change the order, put the compressor before the EQ. So that's just a quick little example of how changing the order of EQ and compression can affect the overall tonality. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. I'm Bainz. You can find me on Instagram, Bainz with 3 Z's. Till next time.